Welcome, welcome, everybody. This is, as you know, the $100,000 group coaching call, all designed to help you generate $100,000 or more in new business from everything we talk about. Today, let me share my screen. Get rid of this. All right. So today, as you know, from the email, hey, Dave, from the email that I sent out, today is all about expert positioning, and more specifically, the expert positioning statement/formula that I have provided to you within the training. Some people have an easier time with this than others, and either way is totally fine with me. We're going to dive in a little bit today because ultimately, here's the thing. What I want to empower all of you to be able to do, and I don't care whether you call this an elevator pitch or not, I want you to be able to talk to referral relationship partners, prospects, new clients, whoever it may be, and be able to quickly and succinctly share how and why you're better/different, why you're uniquely qualified, and why you're the best of the best, because everyone wants to work with and or refer to the best, and that includes you. So in the training, one of the things that I provided was this expert positioning statement, and I call it a formula because you fill in the blanks. There are a number of different variables that you can use to fill in the blanks. And this is frankly where a lot of people get stuck. And I get it because you're too close to yourself. You're too close to it and all of these things. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit about how you can use those variables. And I'm hoping that some of you will volunteer and we can collaborate together live on some of these blanks. Because ultimately, I want to get you out of the dime a dozen. You want to stand out. You want to get out of the dime a dozen. You want to be able to almost instantly be able to separate yourself and be considered the go-to expert. And so let's dive in. The structure, let me go ahead and actually just skip a space here because this is the structure, but I am one of the only. Now, I deliberately start the statement in this way. This is not an accident. I am one of the only, and I'm just going to go with financial advisors. I am one of the only financial advisors in the region. Oh, by the way, it could also be I'm one of the only financial advisors in the state. I'm one of the only financial advisors in the country, whatever makes sense for you. Or these can also be sequential. And if you want to soften this a little bit, that's fine. You can say, I'm proud to tell you, hey, Bob, I'm proud to tell you, I'm one of the only financial advisors in the state, in the region, whatever makes sense for you, that has the CEPA certification. That's also a CFP, and that's also a chartered retirement plan, whatever. I want to help you use the designations and or the degrees that you've achieved or received in order to start to separate yourself. And again, this is a layered statement. So again, I'm trying to lead you here. I'm one of the only financial advisors in the state or in the region that has blank, blank, and blank. I'm also one of the only advisors in the country that has been hired by my company to actually train other advisors to help them help their clients. So, Bob, you may say that I'm the advisor's advisor. Let me stop for a second here, because whoever you are and whatever you do, if it has ever been true, if that statement has ever happened where someone in your business, your company, a BD, whoever you've worked for, has ever asked you to train someone else, it is a truthful statement. I'm adding a lot of sugar on this by saying, so you may say, I'm the advisor's advisor. In the mind of the listener, and I see there's a chat message, I'll get to that in a second. In the mind of the listener, do you know what they're thinking? You're the guy or the girl, depending on who you are watching this. You are the obvious choice, because why would they go to anybody else when they're the ones coming to you? Okay. Again, certifications, I've been one of the few advisors in the state that has been trained. You don't even have to have any paper or any letters after your name that has been trained in blank. This is all serious ammunition. And if you're able to, in a compliant way, say that I specialize, that's a really good word. I don't know if you can say it, but if you're able to put the cherry on top of the sundae and say, and I specialize in helping my clients achieve or receive their desired results with, and then the blank is the unique acronym or the unique plan, the proprietary solution that you have. Remember, when people understand they can't find anybody else that has your unique plan, again, if I've created an acronym for you or you have a unique plan or both, this is how you instantly get the person, whether it be a referral relationship partner, prospect, new client, or all the above, to understand they've never heard of it before. They can't find anyone else that is offering that or talking about that. Remember, most of your colleagues, like 99%, they're using the same language, the same words, the same phrases, the same cliches, the same titles for services. And here you are, not looking, sounding, or feeling like that or like them, immediately separating yourself. I'm gonna read the question in just 1 second, but I cannot help but share this one other thing, and I'm sure I'll share some others. So I'm not going to say it's my final thing. In your business, most, not all, and I'm not saying any of you, but most of your colleagues are focused on talking to people's brains, their minds, using intellect, logic, rationale. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I will argue all day that when you can talk to somebody's heart as much as you're talking to their head, you can engage and endear somebody at a level that the overwhelming majority of your clients will never experience. And this is as much about talking to their heart as it is to their head, because you're earning their trust. This is part of the rapid trust building process. Of course, the trust part is in their heart, not as much as it is in their head. And so I see there's a quick text chat here. Let me just see what this says, and then I'm going to open it up for any. Dave, what if I'm only a registered representative with no? Totally cool, Dave. Yeah, but Dave, this is great. Thank you for asking this question. Dave, if you want to unmute yourself, you absolutely can. So Dave's a registered. Unmuted. Okay, great. So Dave, you're a registered rep. Awesome. Have you ever taken additional training? And if the answer is no, let me have it. We'll go right down the list here. Dave, any additional training that you can think of that you've had?
No.
Okay. How many years you been doing this?
25 years.
Okay. That's a long time.
Right. I would do continuing education every year, but that's just, nothing fancy. No sparkle.
To you, I don't know what that, listen, yeah, and I know you can't rattle off all of the different trainings that you've had over the last X number of years, but if you, give me one thing that you took continuing ed in this year or last year.
Elderly law, anti-money laundering. I am trained on asset preservation.
Okay, that's all I need. That's it, man. So listen, so I don't know in your area, and I don't know how many of your colleagues have been in business for over 25 years. I'm guessing that's a small percentage.
Okay.
You could easily say, and this is just in the last 30 seconds,
buddy,
I'm one of the few advisors that have been in practice for I'm one of the few advisors in the area that has been in practice for over 25 years, that has received specialized training in, I think you said elderly something.
Elderly law.
Elderly law. You just said the one thing that really...
risk mitigation, income planning.
Yes. Yes. You can start to list all of those things because it's 100% true.
Yes.
So I'm one of the few advisors that have been in practice for over 25 years and have also received specialized training in boom, 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 boom. Like you could almost say I'm one of the only advisors in the state because that's also true.
Okay.
So, Dave, you have way more opportunities than you likely think to be able to fill this expert positioning statement in just because of your experience, the training you received, etc. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for asking. Um, 25 years. Doug says 25 years times how many hours per year is that? 500 hours of education. Yeah. How many have that much? It's a great point.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, that's you, Doug. I thought, perfect. Anybody else, before I keep going on with this, anybody else have any other thoughts, any resistance, any blocks to how you might be able to fill some of this in? And, again, Dave, thanks so much for asking, because I'm hoping everybody else can even see, like Doug pointed out, 500 hours of continuing ed. He's right. I'm one of the few advisors that have been doing this in practice for over 25 years that have also had over 500 hours of continuing education. I mean, that's a huge, huge statement.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback on what Dave was saying, Dr. Len, simply because I felt the same way. That is, I don't have a CFP. I don't have a university degree. I don't have, I've never worked on Wall Street, et cetera. So I really had to piggyback on the fact that I'm one of very few in my region that have 31 years of experience. And what that means is 31 years of experience of providing clients our sequential wealth building plan. It's rough, but hey.
It's not rough. Listen, I'm on the other side of the fence for all of you, right? So I'm a prospective client here. And so what I can share with you and or a referral source. And so ultimately, if you've been doing it for 31 years, right? And you're successful, you by default, what I'm thinking is you must be damn good at what you do. So that stands for so much. But again, whether it's training, the experience, education, I don't care that you don't have the degrees or even certain letters after your name. Listen, I can tell you, let me flip this back on me for just a second. You've probably all heard the story. When I was a chiropractor back in the 90s, and here I am talking to medical doctors and specialists who think maybe I'm just above the janitor, right? Like, let's face it, they didn't respect me at all. But when I sat in front of them in their big office with all their degrees and in their white coat, and I told them how and why I knew more about the spine than they did, and how I was a junior Olympic swim team doc, and I had 3.5 years postgraduate experience in orthopedics, that the president of Independence Blue Cross was my patient, that I worked with neurologists at local hospitals. I mean, and on and on and on. You can see that veil of insecurity just disappear from their face. And I kid you not, more of these docs would actually admit, well, you know more about the spine than I do, so I'm just going to send my people to you. And it happened because I wasn't afraid to identify all the things that I knew they didn't know, they didn't experience, they could not possibly know how to fix. And so that's a long story short, but I get it. And so I didn't have their fancy medical degree, and I didn't want it. But I was able to easily communicate not only my value, but how I knew more than them and how I could help their patients in a way that I knew they couldn't. And ultimately, all of these referral relationship partners that you're all in the process of securing, they need to refer to you because you do something they don't. They need to trust you because they're afraid to risk their reputation by referring to the wrong person. And so much of that is baked right into this expert positioning statement. Because once you get to the end of this and you're able to list all of those wonderful things about how and why you're better / different, why you're uniquely qualified, how you can help their clients in a way that no one else can, that's the part of the rapid trust building process. And you'll see that veil of uncertainty or insecurity disappear from their face as well. So, Ray, thank you for that. Doug, thank you. Dave, thank you.